So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a Nick Theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do that.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, podcast listeners. I mixed it up again this week.
Every week.
I know. This is Mrs. Adam.
And this is Mr. Adam.
Welcome back to another By the By.
Yes, and if you're listening for the dollop, you have tuned into the wrong station. But please stick around.
Yeah, they're going to be here shortly.
I know.
So excited.
All right, anyway, enough about other people's podcasts.
Yes. So we are joined this evening by a special guest. It is
A very special guest.
the gentleman.
The
Hello.
gentleman. Yeah.
Yeah.
The gentleman.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hello.
As you can hear, he is he's from Ireland, clearly.
Irish, yeah.
It's tough for the
Irish
boys.
descent, that's true.
Wow, I've painted myself
good
into
guess.
a corner
Yep.
now.
I'm waiting to see where you're going to go.
God damn it. Yeah, so let's go back to his name. I can make fun of the name for a little while.
The gentleman.
The gentleman. Mm-hmm. He's both gentle and a man.
And manly.
And in this case, one of those things is not true. We'll let you decide. By the way, when I look at that, I'm talking to the podcasters, the people inside the microphone. Hello, people inside the
Yes,
microphone.
okay. I'll
And
do
when
the
I
same.
talk to you, I'll be looking at you.
Okay.
We determined early on that we could not sit next. Neither one of us could sit next to him, and he could not be allowed to sit next
It's
to
the
either one of us.
Spanish Inquisition. I'm sitting on one end of the table with the bright lights in my eyes. Talk, damn it!
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be the Irish Inquisition if you're from
Oh, it's
Ireland?
Irish.
Yes.
That's true.
Talk,
The
damn it!
Spaniards
Top of the morning.
never invaded Ireland, did they?
So far, but nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Oh, this is great. I like this. I've already lost my train of thought.
So the gentleman, for everyone out there, is a single male.
That we found on the street.
Yes.
I was cold, begging for money.
You got more than money, honey.
I got the money shot.
Ooh.
So yeah, he's a single male in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to have him on to talk a little bit just about that, about being a single male in the dating world and in the dating couples world. So
Yeah, we got bunches of questions. Well, she's got bunches of questions. I have, random ramblings from the Spanish Inquisition part of this game. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
so let's start with, you've been in long-term relationships before.
Yes.
Were any of those open relationships?
No.
Okay.
No, I've never been in an open relationship.
Okay. Is it something that interests you?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to be?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So how long have you been in the lifestyle, let's say, as far as seeing couples and...
Okay.
Experimenting.
Probably about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
And so I was in a relationship for 10 years. And then once that ended, I started branching out, looking for what I wanted.
Mm.
Yeah, so about 2.5 years. And I've been, getting on Tinder. I started off on Tinder and dating single girls. But then a few bad experiences after that. And I met a lovely couple and I've been wanting to do that ever since. I don't think I've actually dated a single girl since I've was introduced to couples.
So was a couple something that you sought out, or did it happen accidentally?
No, I don't think it was something that I sought out. But I got onto one of the websites, and there was a couple that just sort of liked me and said hello and struck up a conversation, and they wanted a threesome. I'd never had a threesome before, so I thought, well, why not? Let's do this. Let's try that out. And it was awesome. And it was the sex was good, but the relationship that they had, I was just envious of, and I wanted to see more of that. So yeah, they were great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lucky, I suppose, that I had that good experience to begin with.
Yeah.
And that just set me
Exactly.
that set me on that journey, and I wanted to follow that path then.
But it makes you wonder, though. I mean, we've spent a lot of time with you, and your attitude tends to always be a positive. You're always, I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons that she and I are both drawn to you is that you have a positive outlook on life. You don't see the negatives, or at least you don't point them out immediately.
No, it's you're having too much fun seeing the positives. Why not?
Yeah, so I think that could be part of the good experience. I think a lot of people will have.
Yeah, but
If you're
I
looking
think,
for the good, then
then
you're going to find
hopefully
it.
you attract the
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
That's true as well.
Yeah. So how did you go from meeting that couple? Did you then see that couple more times than the once?
No.
So it was just
No.
the one time thing?
Just the one time, yeah. I think it was their first time as well, which I think sort of helped. I wasn't as
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
was extremely nervous to begin with in any case, but then it being their first time as well, they were too. So it was like, okay, well that's all right. We're all here to do this. Let's just do this, you know. And yeah, it was. But I left that experience I was buzzing. It was just so great. But I was just like I said before, I was just envious of the relationship that they had, and I was like, man, why couldn't I find that? If I had that to begin with, maybe, you know, maybe it would have gone differently. But
I think all of us, though, that come from broken relationships are, you know, if only I had the person I have now, kind of, you know, or if only I had that kind of person.
Or even if I was the same kind of person then that I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's also where the positive attitude comes from too, because, like at the end of the relationship, I was really down, and it wasn't a happy place to be. And then coming out of that and seeing what was on offer, so to speak, I'm just like, oh man, really?
That's awesome.
So much to look forward
So
to.
much, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I haven't lost anything. I've gained everything.
I'm just imagining this mashup of Let It Go and A Whole New World, where you're walking down a street and every time you turn around and look back, you let it go, let
Yes,
it go.
that's exactly
new
it, yeah.
world with new fan. Great. Sorry. I'll try to tone down the Disney stuff. I've been, yelled at for Yoda rapping.
Now I'm thinking about Elsa. Ooh.
Man, that's one girl that I would really think is not Frozen.
Jack Frost is a lucky boy.
Wait. Oh no, that's Jack Skellington. Never mind. Different guy. But I was like, doesn't he already have some? Anyway.
All right, we're way off topic.
Way.
Are we? Oh, sorry.
So you after the first couple, how did you? So you actively sought out a second couple, yeah?
Yes.
Were you on RHP or was
how
that
did
through
you do
Tinder
that?
as well?
Adult matchmaker.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah. It's a bit more seedy, I think. I've come to realise.
Our guests
yeah.
can say that because our guests' thoughts and opinions are not our own.
They're their own. Everyone has an opinion.
That's
and
right, that's
You're
right.
It was
entitled
just
to
my
it.
experience at the
Yes,
time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So you went looking for another couple,
Yes.
and you went online to do so. Mm-hmm. How was it for you? Because this was your first time going into, looking for a couple on a dating website after you've probably not been on many dating websites for a while.
That's right, yeah.
So then, was it intimidating at all? Were you excited about it? How did that feel when you were going through setting things up and starting that conversation with people?
Yeah, well, I think on those sorts of websites that I was on, the ratio to women to men or couple to men, I mean, a couple on there with, a good-looking pair of people would just get 1,000 messages a day.
Right.
So having that realisation, it wasn't that hard just to send messages out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, it was like, well, they're probably just going to look at mine in a month's time and just flick through. And then when people started responding, then it was like, oh my God, like, yeah, I am hard. Yeah, and you get that bit of a boon for your self-confidence. You're like, okay.
Isn't it great?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I started just messaging backwards and forwards. And even that's just I had to relearn that skill as well, So, I was excited to go and look for couples. And I think the next couple after that, they were actually, they weren't after just like a Manticore or a man. They were just looking for, actually, it was a gangbang. So, and again, I just thought, well, hell, I've never done that before. That sounds like fun.
I love. I
let's
wish
give
the
that a go.
expression, because he's got this really sweet, boyish charm when he goes, "I've never done a gangbang before. I'll try that."
Yeah, why not?
You're talking back to the 15-year-old gentleman.
Yeah, oh, yes.
You
yeah,
see this
that's-
15-year-old gentleman?
Yeah. We're here.
Gotta fuck.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah, and then, and that gangbang didn't turn into a gangbang. Nobody showed up.
That's,
Well,
but
that's called
so-
masturbation.
I mean, with the couple, I was the
Oh,
only
sorry,
one who showed
sorry.
up. So we just had a threesome, but isn't life
right
great?
there.
Isn't
Okay.
life great? It's like, yeah,
This is first world.
life is going well when you just, first
Yeah.
world problems,
so-
I was
exactly.
gonna say first world swinger problems is, well, the gangbang kind of turned into a threesome, and we had to make do.
Nobody showed up. So,
So we just had a threesome. That was what it was.
I mean, you gotta struggle through. The struggle is
love
real,
my
man.
life.
The struggle
Love
is
it.
real.
Sometimes you just gotta settle.
Oh, wait, are you
Perspective.
suggesting he did or that couple did?
I don't know the other couple, so I can't really say.
Oh my god. Way to try to save that one.
But again, I had a great experience with them too, and I still see them now. So I've been seeing them for over 2 years now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And again, it was, I mean, she's smoking hot for starters, but he's lovely. They're both beautiful together, and again, I see their relationship and just think, wow, that's fantastic, and I'm drawn to that, and that's why I just keep going back to them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're like, you have to have that good social connection with them, with the other person. And when you don't, I've had plenty of meetings where you don't, and you walk away and think, I just wasted my time. It was good, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like pizza. There's no such thing as bad pizza, but there is a good thing as good pizza.
I love it.
You know?
We have found my comic like equal. This is great. He also steals my jokes though, because that I say that anyway.
I digress. Yeah.
Yes.
So you mentioned the relationship that you like to have with a couple. Do you prefer to see couples repeatedly, or more just like a one-off kind of thing?
No, repeatedly for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. The one-offs are good, but to me it's a quick Tinder hookup. It's just it's a little thing that you do to, because you just need to.
It's fast food, not a sit-down dinner.
Yeah, well, that's a great analogy. That's perfect. That's exactly what it is. But no, definitely, the ongoing relationship is much better. I mean, it's good personally, but also sexually as well. You need to find out how the other person works and find out what they like, what they don't like, and then also my own growth as well. So we can sort of push boundaries further and further and see where that ends up. So it's been good.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice, like, we're happy we found you because of all of that. It's ultimately, it comes down to having really, really good friends that you can both hang out with in a non-sexual way, and then also really, really good friends that you sometimes see naked.
Yeah, that's the pants off friend. I love that.
Because they're in our bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pants on or pants off. And
Yeah.
that's what's
Yeah.
really nice about it is, I've talked to a few people recently who hear pants off and they're like, "Oh, you only see them.
You fuck
and
buddies."
Yeah, that's all you are." I'm like, no.
It's
It's like we're friends plus.
Yeah.
It's truly a friends with benefits kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think unfortunately that's often delegated to singles. Singles have friends with benefits, and couples don't.
Sure.
And I think that's sort of I don't understand why we all can't be friends with benefits.
Yeah, but I think it's once you've been exposed to that, it's sort of coming from the norm sort of world. You think that this would be a bizarre sort of thing, but then when you start exposing yourself to these experiences, it's not bizarre. And you just think, well, why isn't everybody doing this?
Yeah.
But why wasn't I doing this 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And that's sometimes something that just resonates in my head over and over again. Like, why didn't I start this earlier? Why was I so scared to start doing this? Mm-hmm. Because I always wanted to. Truthfully, it was something that I'd wished that I had done earlier. And then now that I had the opportunity, I'm like, well, what's stopping me? Nothing.
That's awesome.
You know?
So did you research it any, or did you just sort of like, all right, let's just jump in and navigate it?
Just jumped in and navigated as I went.
Has that burned you any?
Oh, I probably wouldn't have done a couple of things that I've done, but then
Like what?
I was just about to say, do you care to elaborate?
No, well, it was more just so the people that I had slept with. It was there were I remember there was a couple that I didn't like them. I didn't like either of them, but I was having sex, so it was like, okay, cool. And looking back now, I just think, I could have, it just wasn't. It's not what I'd like to do now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? That's part of that, I suppose, that learning curve of, well, I like that, I don't like that, I like that, I don't like that. Like just try it and see how it is. And what do you always say? Just because you tried something doesn't change who you are. It's just, okay, so I tried that and I didn't like it, so we'll just bump that to the side and move on to something that we do like.
Yeah. But you have to try it twice to make sure that... No, wait, bear with me. We joke, but I think you always should try something twice, because I can think of a few things that I've tried, even sexually, and the first time I'm like, I don't know that's for me. Point. And then the second time I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the first time is always a little bit awkward.
Yeah, so I think the second time lets you sort of know what to expect and be prepared for it.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to the question you asked me earlier of, do I like repeat business as such?
Repeat.
But, yeah. But and that's the thing, because the first time you're both sort of nervous. You don't, obviously you want to do a good job, and and then the next time you can kind of relax and make more of a connection.
Were you nervous the first time we played?
We played the first time in the club a little bit.
Oh, that doesn't
It
count.
sort of didn't count because it was. But the first time I came here, shit, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Damn it, I'm not Scottish. What is it, Irish?
Irish.
It's falling apart.
Look, Irish is Scottish light, or Scottish is Irish light. I don't know. Depends on where you're from. If we have any listeners in Scotland or Ireland, holy awesome. That's amazing. Howdy, y'all. Okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought.
How's it going?
We're talking about nerves.
We were?
Yeah, I don't think you had any reason to be nervous. I mean, you'd already seen us at the club. We'd already had drinks, so we knew socially you were all right. No, but you knew we were all right, I should say.
Could you tell I was nervous as hell when I met you two for drinks? But it was
you were
more
a little
like
nervous.
I hope they like me and I hope I like them.
Yeah.
That's what that
I think that's good to be nervous about. And you were a little nervous. It was adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to the bathroom once and we talked about you really quickly.
Did I?
Yeah.
I was obviously good, so I mean, that worked out well.
You were all right. Look, there was a minimum, and you just passed that bar.
It in. Like, all right. It was the jacket, wasn't it?
Well, it was the jacket. All right. Anyway, sorry.
So when you're talking about, or I guess comparing dating single women versus dating a couple, what are some of the differences that you found in trying to, I'm not going to say make the transition because you still, date single women, but when you kind of started looking more towards couples, what were some of the differences, like, as far as finding people and the contact with people?
I think contacting a couple was a bit more sparse. So there wasn't as many couples as what there were single females on the site that I was on. But I suppose when dating the single girls that I did, I think I just got two bad ones. You know what I mean? It was and they were back to back, and I was like, you know what? I'd had the two great experiences with the couples, and at the same time I'd had these two bad experiences with the single females, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
They were like clingy and needy and all of the things that I just was glad to be rid of.
Awesome.
And then there were these other people that were just, it was purely just good times, and there was no other pressure. I didn't have to, I don't have to ring you after I finish work and tell you I'm on my way home, and like there was none of that. But there was with the single, they wanted to know, where you were, what you're doing, and so, well, leave me alone, I'm at work for a minute. You know what I mean? It was just so. I think I just got bad group out of the bunch, and then I got the best, or got the good group out of the bunch on this side. So it was, you know what, couples is, I just prefer the dynamic and the relationship that I can have. Just suited me. It suits me really well.
That's good. Yeah, it's, and I understand. We see that with other singles that we've met. It's that that they're looking to not have to constantly report in or wonder where somebody is. So that,
and it's not through lack of caring. I care. I just don't.
That's not exactly what you need.
Yeah.
You want the intimacy, but you don't want to have to be like so committed and tied down and have to, like you said, have to tell someone every moment that you're doing something, or if plans change, or I guess if plans change involving them, it's good to tell them. But
please,
yeah,
don't be a no-show.
But it is good to have that intimacy without having to like be quite so tied.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's the intimacy that makes me go back to a couple, which is quite interesting. That's what you said. Yeah.
Well, that is interesting. Wow, we can open a whole new bag of worms here now.
Lie back on the couch. now tell me about your mother.
Now, I want you to tell me about your mother. No, that is interesting. That you I mean, which clearly you want it. You just don't want you don't want to be oppressed by.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. I think it's something that everybody needs.
So are you not looking at singles at all, or like
I'm not looking at singles at all?
Oh, interesting. So even if you met a single lady and you're like, or a single guy, and you were like, oh hey, buddy, and you all really meshed, and had even the same.
Yeah, if it was to happen like that, then that would be fine. But I'm not actively looking.
Oh, okay.
So knowing that this will always change based on circumstances and state of mind. But if you were to meet a single female and get along really well, and she was not into having an open relationship and wanted to be monogamous, at this point, what would you do?
He's made a face.
Yeah. That would be a shame, but it would be a no deal, because this is the lifestyle that I want to live. But
even the ice is chilled by that.
And do you know what? Like I think I'm always curious about. So how did like your relationship start? Or how did the couples that I see? The one question that I just really always want to know is how did that normal relationship, the stereotypical relationship, sort of go from that? How did it morph into? And I want to know that specifically so that when I do meet that female, I have an understanding of how I can make this happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How can I steer that into something that I could show her as well, that this is fantastic.
Yeah.
We can be this happy.
We can share this together.
We can share this together. Exactly. And I want to, that's the one question I always want to know is how do I turn that normal relationship into this magnificent thing that I've now found? Because that's I can't see why everyone just can't do it.
Yeah. Us neither.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect people who can't, but still, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's another question of, well, have you tried that?
Oh, good.
You know what I mean?
And was the first time
No,
bad?
we just know that's not right.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? You haven't even... How can you comment? You don't even know. Try it and then say, no, that's not for me. But I reckon it'd be for a lot of people.
That devilish grin.
Yeah.
So how would you compare or describe the, I'm going to say the courting period where you're communicating with someone online and before you meet them in person? Like, how do you play that? Do you talk a lot? Do you send pictures? Do you want to meet earlier, later? How does that process look to you?
Well, I think it's changed as well over time, because in the beginning, I wanted to get to know them first via texting or Kik or through the website. But now, I'd rather get a little bit of a conversation going on via text and see what sort of what level we're at, and have a bit of a chat to get a little bit of an understanding of who somebody is. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? What do you?
Yeah.
But then, see, actually, you guys were the only guys that I actually went and met beforehand.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, but but that was really good, because I was less nervous, but like afterwards, after I'd met you, but it just built that attraction as well, and that was really good, and that's how now again you take notes as you go along. Well, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but the only constant is change.
That's true.
But you still have to be open to learning.
I know, but by taking notes, I don't know, it's every relationship is different.
Mm-hmm.
Even with us talking about the structure of every relationship, people's relationships are different. So it's that's complex.
Yeah.
Keep taking notes though. I mean, at some point we'll create a whole database.
Like Barney's handbook.
Yeah, exactly. Only not douchey. Excuse me. Sorry. Go ahead.
So it was the talk between the couples in the initial sort of meeting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's mostly just done, obviously, just via text. I don't think I've showed up to a lot of people's houses with I haven't even spoken to them on the phone. People don't really want to speak to you on the phone.
Yeah.
No.
Sending pictures and that, yeah. Face pics are important, obviously, because you want to make sure that you're showing up to what you think you're showing up to, or
face pics holding up today's newspaper.
Yeah. Like a ransom photo.
Yeah, exactly. Proof of life.
It is funny though, because I have a confidant, a mate of mine, and whenever I go to someone's house, I just send him the address. And as soon as he gets, because if something happens to me, man, this is where I was. Okay.
I was just gonna ask that as well.
Yeah,
because I always do the same thing when I was traveling around the U.S. and whoring around the U.S. From Grindr. I'd be in a random hotel, Grindr, and if I was going to meet somebody somewhere or in another hotel room or whatever, I would always write the whatever Grindr username they had, whatever name they had given me, and where the address was or the room number, and then I would leave, go play, and then come back to the room and throw that away.
So it was a
just
trial,
in case, because the first place the police are going to look is my room, and if they see a name and like a right there, that's the start of a really good like CSI or whatever.
The man from Grindr. Grindr man. I knew the Grindr man.
God damn it, that's how I would be credited as well. Aren't you Grindr man? No, I'm Scruff Dude. Boy ahoy!
There's a guy out there somewhere that gets a text every now and then, and it's just an address, and he goes, "That dirty bastard."
Oh, that's great.
And he knows he's going to get a good story tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah. But safety first.
Safety first.
Well, so does your friend know that you're seeing couples?
Yes.
And what's his opinion? Her opinion?
His opinion, he loves it. Okay. He's just like, oh man, that's great. Because I've always been a little bit on the wilder, kinkier side. And he knows that. Yeah, well, but yeah, he's like, man, just go for it. And again, but it comes down to, because I'm happy.
Yeah.
And it just comes off me now. So but he sees that. So whatever I'm doing, man, it's working. Go for it, live your life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's the kind of friends people should be of swingers as well. I mean, it's nice to have that support and non-judgmentalhood.
And you don't have to be a swinger yourself.
No.
But, we all make decisions in life and pursue things that others may not understand. We're not going to understand everything they do either. That's okay. It doesn't mean we can't be friends.
And that is probably the core of what attracts me to it all. Is people are just so nice.
Yeah.
And
that's the vast majority. You're right.
And they are positive. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I've had by luck a good experience the whole way through, but most of the people that I've met have all been positive outlook, and the kind of people that I want to be around.
I would say the same. I would say maybe 1% of the people we've ran into or met in the lifestyle are people that we were like, I don't really like you. And I would say somewhere closer to 2/3 of the people are people we would be like, oh, if we wanted to, we'd be happy to be friends with you on a normal kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's like this. It's the same thing when you go you go down to a nudist beach. When you go to a normal beach and you camp up next to somebody, they don't look at you. They don't say hello. They don't socialise with you in any form. But you go down to a nudist beach and you lay your town down, take your gear off. Oh, hey, how you going? Yeah, good, mate. Oh, so where are you from? And you just strike up a conversation. Yeah. It's the oddest thing.
It breaks that barrier, though.
There is no, yeah. It breaks the barrier that's not there anymore.
And it also refines the tribe. So you've told us that before, and I love that analogy, and I've actually used it with people, other people. But, it got me thinking about it. It's like, why is that? Why are we more comfortable? And I think, yes, it removes a boundary, but humans, we're all looking to be a part of a tribe. So if you go to the beach, you're part of the beach tribe. But then if you go to the nudist beach, that's a much smaller tribe. So that's somebody that you already have, two things in common with. Yeah. You're naked and you're at the beach. So that sort of, I think, makes that bridge or that gap.
But it's also that like-mindedness.
Yeah, exactly. Well. So that we're refining that. Yeah. We already like these two things. So I bet we like other things. So we're more open to put ourselves out there and say, hi, how you going? That's a very good
observation, I think. Yeah.
I have one or two.
Yeah.
I'm off alcohol. I'm now on Sprite.
Okay.
That doesn't look like Sprite.
I drink a lot of bourbon. It is. It's bitters, with bitters in it.
Oh.
I mean, I have to have a little alcohol.
So is there anything that you want couples to know from your perspective about looking for single guys, how to approach them, meeting up?
I think just approaching a single guy, I suppose, just don't be forceful. Mm-hmm. I suppose, what is it, be kind or be nice to other people. I know sometimes I'm there for a piece of meat. I get that. But I'm not a piece of meat. I don't need to be treated like that during the conversation. You treat me like that in the bedroom, that's fine.
Do you think that's because of the prevalence of single guys that are out there? There seem to be a lot more men that are like, I want to have sex, than there are single women. Do you think that's...
Definitely. You can get, I suppose, because, just sheer numbers. There's a heap of guys and a heap of time wasters and a heap of people that get that let other people down or that are disappointed or
so it's easier for couples to sort of become
it's just another single guy.
Yeah, exactly. Blasé, yeah.
Blasé, yeah. And I get that, and I hate that there are so many people that waste other people's times. It's ridiculous.
It reminds me of something that I was taught when I first started working at Disney World, and then a manager said to me, every day 1,000 people are going to come up to you and say, where's the bathroom? And what you need to remember is, although you've heard it 1,000 times, it's the first time that they've heard it.
Yeah.
Or they've asked it, I should say.
Yeah.
So treat them like it's their first time, not like it's your 1,000th. And I think for couples, it's easy to get into that mindset of, oh my God, it's another guy, it's another guy, it's another guy.
Yeah.
But we also need to be cognizant that you're people too.
Yeah. But I get the frustration because, going back to the first contact, the first contact is a cheesy, what do you say? It's a cheesy, hi, I'm the gentleman. I like your profile. It's just a generic thing. Yeah, because we all don't know how to start that conversation, and that's it. So it's that first message back. If you get a message back at all, then it's trying to nut out. Okay, sometimes it might be sharp, short and sweet, or it might be a little bit lengthier. And a little bit lengthier is probably better because you get that little bit of what their style is, and and a bit of a feel for the couple. But sometimes if it's short and sweet, and then you've got to sort of understand, like you're saying, like, well, this is their first time meeting me, amongst all the thousands of no shows or people just that I have wasted their time and pissed them off in the past. So then you try to start that conversation. So.
How frequently do you get approached by couples versus you approaching a couple?
Yeah, probably. I suppose in a week you get one or two. But they're not always a good match, I don't think, Or from out of town, it's like, well, when am I going to see you? Or from, 2 hours away, 3 hours away. It's like, well, okay, thank you, I'm flattered, but
Effort.
yeah, I'm not driving 3 hours.
Yeah, no.
God damn. You know.
He's not that desperate.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, some people have it easy.
I'll drive. I mean, within an hour is good. I mean, you go down south to Wollongong or something, from Sydney. That's an okay drive. All the way out to Penrith.
If we lived in Chatswood, he'd be around. Or if we lived in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't go too far away.
Yeah, and
Glad we don't live in Parramatta.
And don't forget, as a single guy, you're going home most of the time. So, like, if you stop playing at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, it's another hour to get home.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Poor thing.
You know what I mean? And you're not going to say, hey, listen, sorry, guys, but I got to be home early.
I got school tomorrow.
Which you do have to be home early, but...
Because I got work tomorrow.
So what about keeping a Manticore around? What's your advice to couples on that? Because you've been with your first couple now for almost 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. What do they do? Like, what is it that you look for to stick around? What would you tell couples to do?
I think, like, again, with anything, communication is key, isn't it? Like, we talk a lot about what we want to do, our fantasies together, and what they want to do and what they want to try, and that's good. But again, it's not the smothering type of communication, but it is constant communication.
Well, we were very happy from the beginning that you wanted to have a kick group. Because, we've said that before. There's something nice about having all three of us in the conversation. Even if it's just you and I chatting or you and her chatting or occasionally the two of us. It's still nice that we're included kind of thing.
Yeah, and then that way I don't feel like I'm chatting to you, Bradford, and then when I come over I'll see Angela as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is.
And that's always tough. And we've got a few couples that are like that. And
you talk to one and...
Yeah.
Well,
in saying that, the couple that I've seen for 2.5 years or 2 years now, I only speak to him. Mm. And then every now and then, when they're together, we do like 3-way FaceTime and that. We've done that a couple of times, and that was really good, and I really enjoyed doing that because I'm not just catching up with him, I'm catching up with them, and I'm in it for the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so going back a couple of steps when you were talking about reading profiles and sending people, it made me think C from Swinging Down Under. Mm-hmm. I think one of their early podcasts, she talked about how she would read people's profiles and write out these really well thought out, hot hello messages.
Long messages.
And they get back one sentence. It's like, good, this whole big paragraph, and then the response is, good, thanks, how was your weekend? Or something like that.
Yeah.
But and you made me think of that, just like...
Yeah, and I have sent a few of those long-winded, messages.
Uh-huh. How's your response rate?
Oh, no, with the long-winded ones, not great. It is funny. It's weird. Because they're the ones you just put the most effort into because you're really keen. You're like, oh, these
people are beautiful.
They're beautiful. God damn it. And I could have just said hi there.
Fuck, it's always the pretty ones.
I hate those messages. They just pop up and say hi there, and you're like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I don't want others to be selective of what I've written them, but when I get a shit message like what? It's like, oh, go away. You didn't put in any effort at all.
Wow. I know, because I spent 3 seconds. I could have sent 12 messages out in those 3 seconds. The largest net catches the most fish. Is that what it is? Yeah. There's people out there. I'm one of those that have answered to a hey intro.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just like, I'm fucking desperate and you're really cute. So.
And can I say, not fake photos, but like old photos on your profile, get rid of them. You're setting an expectation for somebody to show up to this.
Or worse, it's clearly 1988 in that picture.
And I went on one date, and it was a thing off Tinder. Met this girl at the pub. She sent me. I sent her my number. she was sending me photos of herself, and oh yeah, she's quite nice. Yeah, I'll go and have a dinner with her. Went out to dinner, and this lady came up to me and said, "Oh, are you the gentleman?" And I went, "Oh, yeah. Sorry, who are you?"
Oh, God.
Oh,
And she was like, "Yeah, I'm your dad." I was like, "Oh, okay, great." Fuck, like it was taken 30 years ago. It was like, well, you've set an expectation, and when I show up in real life and see that that's not you, I'm just going to be bitterly disappointed.
That's why you always ask for a photo, like
Which
with a
which is the
newspaper.
learning curve. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the,
Wait.
yeah.
If they're holding up a
That's the
newspaper that
proof of
says
life.
the Berlin Wall just fell down, it's like, whoa. That's like 30 years old.
Yeah. Such a coincidence they had that.
I was gonna say, and why would they have had that photo then?
That's great. One of the things that you said earlier, you talking about communicating with couples, you said you like to talk about fantasies and things that you guys want to do together. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh.
Are there any fantasies that you have that you would like to do with a couple that you haven't, or that you have and just really enjoyed and want to enjoy again?
Well, I've had a little bit of like getting tied down, and the other night at the club on the what's it called, the
St. Andrew's Cross.
I've never done that before, and that was amazing. And I think I wanted to try more of that. Getting tied down, I want to get tied down. Yeah.
She's really good with that.
Yeah.
She's a harsh
I know,
mistress.
I'm just getting these predator eyes at the moment. She's going to go into cloaking mode.
Finish him.
I was gonna say, I think we've got an S back there and a few implements for impact
I love
play.
that S-lash.
And we can also tie you down to that. Where you, yeah.
Yeah, that's the next thing that I want to try.
All right, we need to wrap this up.
And we're done. No.
Send help.
Ooh, and cookies. What? If they're going to come for help, they might as well bring cookies.
Well, you may as well bring cookies.
Love it.
So, like when we first met and we met at, where did we meet? Do you want to tell that story?
Oh, we met at our secret
that's true.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the pendulum party.
I was going to say, but our secret spot doesn't allow single men. How did you get in? And explain that again.
Because I'm cute.
So, so we met at the pendulum party, and I'll say as well, one of the things, of course, in order for single guys to get into the pendulum party, they have to email Lawrence a picture and maybe a little bit of information about themselves, because, and then he forwards it to me, and
I remember calling Lawrence on the number, because I saw it on Red Hot Pie, and I thought, oh yeah, that looks fun. I'll have it.
I haven't tried that. I'll try that.
I haven't tried that. I'll try that. No, I ran the guy, and that's actually it was at a point where I just sort of started into my bisexual experience. I'd only had a little bit of a taste, so to speak.
There's a pun there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What is it? No. You can show me later. And so I rang Lawrence, and I remember talking to him, and I was so nervous ringing him, just to be in another space with other bisexual people. I mean, it was so exciting just to ring him, and then go through the vetting process, send him a few pictures and a little bit of experience of what I'd done, and if I'd been to the club before, if I'd been to other parties, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he forwards those to, or for Pendulum, he forwards those to me.
Yeah, to you.
Us. But I remember seeing that your picture, and I was like, "Ooh, yes, he's a yes." And I was like,
that was one of those that we woke up to first thing in the morning when you're kind of just lazily going through your phone. And we had this email, and I remember Mr. Adam was like, "Ooh, yes," and I was like, "Well, I want to see. Show me."
Like, shut up. I'm texting Lawrence.
Yeah, he was like immediately, no discussion.
Yeah, and then then you stared at him for a while. Your
good.
pictures of you, I should say.
Mrs. Adams stared at the gentleman for a while.
I'm so confused.
Yes.
All these pseudonyms. So just as a reminder, the next Pendulum Party is November 24th.
So great, nice.
Yeah, so that's that's a
Not
ways
far
away,
away.
but it's going to be here before you know it. So
Looking forward to that.
yeah, you betcha. We're going to show that club a thing or two. So November 24th.
Show up early. It was the best experience. Or on time, not early. Let's get that straight.
Well,
but
you were right on time.
I was on time.
I think the party starts at 8:30. You were there at 8:31.
Yeah, well, didn't want to be that too early.
1 minute is your...
Gotta let them sweat it out.
That's your fashionably late.
My watch was 2 minutes fast, okay?
I'm not wasting my time or yours.
I appreciate that.
No, I thought it was great.
But you know what? I think it set up the great experience that I had, because I got to go in there and I talked with you guys a lot, and that was me probably at... It was like a nervous excitement, but more excitement than nervous.
Had you had any drinks before?
Yes. Yeah, I had one drink. I had a Gentleman Jack and Coke.
How ironic. I wonder where you got your name. It's not because you're a nice guy, it's because you're an alcoholic. With good taste.
That's right. But no, that was really good. And also having other couples and singles sort of come in, and I could say hello to them at the door. It really broke that ice for me, because I'm not always an outgoing person. I try to be when I can, but sometimes you get nervous, and that was really good, because I could walk up and say, "Oh, hey, I saw you guys before. How you going?" And that was such a good thing, just to get there and see everyone filter in and get to know you guys a little bit. It was the best thing to do.
So it sounds like you were a little bit out of your comfort zone, probably in the party itself with the bisexuality side, but then also out of your comfort zone in talking to people and approaching people in person.
Yeah, and obviously people who are in the lifestyle, so to speak. That was my first sort of group meeting with really like-minded people.
That's cool. Yeah.
Good.
Yay. I mean, we're always excited and worried. I'm worried. Mm-hmm. She's excited. I'm worried about the experience that people have, specifically the pendulum party. But anytime, we're doing anything, it's nice to have that confirmation, I guess, that we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And it's also good with the pendulum party. We try to reach out to people, people who are bisexual and, pretty sure of where they are, but then also to people who are questioning and they don't know and they want to explore a little bit and try and bring them in and help them, to do that in just a safe and fun place.
Yeah, and it was really, I didn't feel at any point that I had to be shy of who I really was, at any point. And it was just, that was really good.
Was that also your first time to OSS?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was that added excitement as well. I'd never been to a swingers club before, not just OSS, but to any. So I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like, And it's hard it's hard to form, I suppose, an expectation for it, because I've never experienced anything like that before. But then you do sort of set a little bit of I'm going to get laid and it's going to be fun, But, that happened anyway. But
I was going to say, did you get laid?
Yeah. Several times.
And did you have fun?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it was... I set a little bit of a bar for myself for that night, and it was just so fantastic. It was a fantastic night.
What challenge did you, lay upon yourself?
Well, I suppose in the beginning it was just to be, to have lots of sex, I suppose. That was,
I love that.
Really, you go there and that's what that's what you've always heard that goes on, and, that's having no idea before, that's, it's just what you expect. Mm-hmm. But then going there, I didn't expect just to be, okay, let's fuck. It was fantastic just to chat and talk and flirt and... Yeah. That was excellent. Yeah.
Cool. Good. I'm glad you had a good experience. We were glad you were there. We're still glad you came. see what I think.
I see what you did there. Your watch must be set far.
Oh man, I see what you did. So that's called a throwback in comedy. That's called, all right, so do you have a question of the week?
No, I didn't even think
do you have a question?
A question of the week.
Because if not, we can do a sexy secret.
Ooh, okay. Let's go for the sexy secret.
Yeah. Right. So you have to come up with a sexy secret. You have to tell. I'm making up this as I go along. You have to give us a sexy secret about yourself, or a secret that people might think is sexy.
Oh. Okay. All right. It's a secret, so don't tell anybody, all right?
Right. It's just between us, guys.
Good. When we were talking about what other things do we want to try and do?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The strap-on is one thing that I want to do.
You want to wear a strap-on?
No. No.
Like a unicorn?
On my head.
He's head buttons. Yeah.
Want to go for a mustache ride? No? How about an eyebrow ride?
They're not that bad, are they?
Oh, you mean on the pegging end?
On the pegging end, yeah.
I can make
I've done
this
that
happen.
a
You've
couple
never
of
done
times.
that? Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With one person, that's it.
All right. We can help make that happen.
Dum, dum, dum.
Dum, dum, dum.
Challenge accepted.
So what's your sexy secret?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
I really didn't think about this. Ooh, this entire podcast, I'm using a butt plug.
Wow, that was a sexy secret. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because I'm still got my jeans on.
That's kind of sexy.
Which is also why I'm sitting at a lean the entire night. Or on my leg. Because the one time I put my leg down, I was like, woo! Yeah. Sorry. What's your sexy secret?
My sexy secret is what we're going to do to the gentleman after the podcast.
We're gonna have to do a podcast about your sexy secret.
Do we need to have the microphone going while it happens?
Oh! We may get the portable mic and stick it in places.
That'll be in the special features edition. You can purchase that for $5.99.
I love this idea. We also have, for an extra $2, you can get director's commentary.
Fuck me over!
That makes me the director. We set up these beautiful vision scenes for people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's your sexy
It'll
secret.
be a visionary masterpiece.
Wow. Thank you. I am an artiste. Yeah, so if we did a shit job interviewing you and people wanted to ask you their own questions, do you want us to have them contact us and then send it on to you?
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
We can do that. Unless you want to broadcast yourself out there, he is ours. She will cut you.
Bradford doesn't share very well.
Cut you.
I think she's going to cut me.
Only once you're strapped down. You better have texted your friend
let's
where
do
you
this.
are not. Because if you didn't, you ain't making it home.
Oh, damn, he's on holidays. I'm screwed.
That means we got longer to play. We're going to get angry.
You squeal like a pig, boy.
We're going to get angry emails from rednecks. Well, I killed the podcast just with the word redneck. Anyway.
That's not what I expected you to say.
Oh, what did you expect me to say?
Southerners.
Oh. There's a difference?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I do declare. I was born into a redneck family, but I seceded.
I've ascended.
That's right. I didn't abstain.
Awesome. So yeah, if you have any questions for the gentleman or any comments, anything, you can send them to us and we will forward on.
Oh, I thought you were gonna actually for once.
No, I'm leaving that for you.
Great.
I don't want to take the fun away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So we're all gonna go get naked, and you guys can imagine that. Ow, that was my knee. You guys can imagine that. Maybe we'll turn the microphone on. Kidding.
We'll give you a sneak peek at some point.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, and thanks for being on the podcast.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks for letting us, create Angela's sexy secret. So if you want to contact him, contact us. We are the Atoms of Love at gmail.com. You can follow us on the Twitterverse at By the By Podcast. We're also on the Facebooks at By the By Podcast or / By the By Podcast or just search By the By Podcast. And on the interwebs, www.bytheby.com.au.
Yeah, thanks for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you next.
Awesome. Bye.